So, all right, yeah, we're.
Let me check my door. I don't want any shit.
So, all right, yeah, we're.
Let me check my door. I don't want any shit.
So, all right, so we are on Twitch. Let's see YouTube. Now it's. Are we on YouTube?
Okay, we're good.
Let's check YouTube real quick. Let's go here.
Let's go here.
All right, so we are live on YouTube as well. I am checking. Capture is running good. All right, so let me hit that music and do the intros, and let's go live, baby.
Yes, sir, buddy.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You switch. Nothing says Sunday like a little swing. No one said we couldn't have fun. Alright. I'm about to fade out. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host. And he's your other host. Alright. I can't help myself when I'm on the controls. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's March the 15th, 2020. The world is seemingly in chaos. People are going to and fro. People don't know what to do with themselves. Certainly, some of y'all don't know how to conduct yourselves. There's a little epidemic going on, I hear. And as you can see in the title, this is called It's a Virus, Where is God? It's a virus, where is God? And you could also see the description down below. You could find our Twitch account, which is where we're streaming as well as streaming live here on YouTube. You could also find Apple Podcasts, Spotify information where you could listen to us there as well. You could also find a few links from a few of my colleagues. For one, my boy Ness. You could find his SoundCloud account posted down below if you want to listen to his music. My SoundCloud is also posted there. And my boy who's here with me right now, KC, I also have his YouTube link listed there where you could subscribe to his channel and enjoy a little bit of audio wrestling.
Yes, sir.
That's what we do here, baby. Live on a Sunday evening.
Live at 5, feeling good, baby.
That's right. I'm gonna let Case introduce himself, and he can tell you how excited he was to do this. Go ahead, Case.
My beautiful people, howdy. It is your old pal, Casey Lee, the legend. Well, okay, I don't know about that. Ogden's favorite son, baby. And dude, I am so excited to do this podcast again, man. As a matter of fact, it's my second time on this podcast, man. And you know, I was talking to my boy here the other day, and I says, man, what the world needs right now is a little positivity, a little encouragement, a little love. How did that old song go? The world needs love.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah. Man, I'm telling you, dude, I seen this meme on Facebook this morning, and it read, it read, don't forget a large dose of compassion. Or something like that. Something like that. Because that is one thing we are definitely not seeing right now, is compassion and courtesy for others.
So let's dive into that then. That's a good one to bring up, and that could string us to what's happening today in current date. So, what does compassion mean to you?
Well, compassion to me would pretty simply mean that you consider others. If someone is a little down and out, you extend a hand to that brother or sister. You say, hey, what can I do for you? How can I help you?
Acts of kindness.
You know what I'm saying? Acts of kindness.
I like that one. Acts of kindness. That's it surprises me in a sense, and I think that's what life should be. Life should always be one which surprises you and teaches you at the same time. So where I'm going here is, it's incredible how short of a statement that is, right? Acts of kindness. Acts of kindness. 3 words. And yet it's such a powerful thing.
And it's yeah. I mean, it's 3 simple words. There's that old saying that common sense ain't so common anymore. Well, neither is kindness, it seems. And this isn't me harping on people, telling, oh, you're so horrible. It's
right.
Not the case, but
no, that's not what we're doing here. We're educating.
Exactly. It at the end of the day, man, please think of others. Please think of, that elderly person, who's standing there, who has nothing. Please think of those, on disability, or who have low income, who only get one chance to go get something. What I mean?
I've often,
because
go ahead.
Because listen, I get it. Everyone's scared right now, and
Yes.
rightfully so.
Yes.
Rightfully so.
Especially when you have the media hyping it up the way that they are.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But see, here's the thing. The key is to not panic. Be cautious. Be careful.
Yes.
Yes. But don't be afraid. In 2001, 2 days after the 9/11 attacks happened, there was a very special episode of Thursday Night SmackDown that came on. And I may not agree with Mr. Vince McMahon on a lot of things, but he made one statement in his speech, which is a damn inspiring speech, by the way. He made a statement in that speech that I have often quoted several times, and that is, we will not live our lives in fear. Because if we live our lives in fear, that virus has already won. They've already won. And I'm sorry, I don't know how the rest of you are wired, but I refuse to lose, my friends. And you should have the exact same mindset. Does that mean that I have all the answers? Does that mean that I can sit here and tell you how we're going to win and tell you how we're going to overcome this? No. If you are coming to me looking for answers and expecting me to say something magical that's going to reverse all this shit, I do not have the answers. Save one answer. Do not be afraid. Stay calm. Be compassionate. Help your neighbors, your friends, your family. We're all in this together, my friends.
Absolutely.
We are.
One should never feel that they're alone. You should be cognizant enough to realize you have a community of people who are looking out for you. And even if you feel that you don't have eyes watching you, how oftentimes people know what they have in their neighborhoods, know who they have in their neighborhoods. And again, even when you don't realize, if you don't realize that that person is watching your front and your back, they really are. Honest.
Oh yeah.
And
oh yeah.
I'd like to do this here. Let's see. I'm getting an ad here. That sucks.
Tonight, the spirit of America lives here in Houston, Texas. On behalf of everyone here in the arena and a worldwide television audience, we would like to extend our condolences to the victims and the families and friends of the victims of the terrorist acts that occurred on Tuesday in New York City and Washington, D.C. Our nation's leaders have encouraged us to return to living our lives the way we normally do. Our nation's leaders have encouraged us to continue to live our lives the American way. They've encouraged us to practice and exercise our constitutional rights. And as such, tonight I believe this is the first public assembly of its size since the tragedy of Tuesday. Make no mistake about what, and make no mistake about the message this public assembly is sending to terrorism tonight. And that message, quite simply, is that we will not live our lives in fear. The citizens of Houston are not afraid. The citizens of Texas are indeed not afraid. And by God, the citizens of the United States are not afraid. For we are a proud people, proud of who we are, proud of our nation, and damn proud to be Americans. And we will fight. We will fight for our families. We will fight for our rights. And we will fight for our great nation. America's heart has been wounded. But her spirit shines as a beacon of freedom that never has been nor ever will be extinguished. The World Wrestling Federation would like to thank each and every one of you here in the Compact Center tonight. The World Wrestling Federation would like to thank each and every one of you watching on television. We would like to thank you for the honor and privilege of performing before you here tonight.
And there goes that, folks. That was post 9/11 Vincent Kennedy McMahon, and sorry about that. Now, a couple of things to note. That was Vince McMahon has always been of the mindset of the show must go on. This is the same guy who, when Owen Hart passed away on his show on live TV in front of a live audience, he deemed that the show should continue. Now, that's controversial. Vince McMahon is a very, very controversial figure in which some people obviously are going to criticize his decision, his way of thinking, and I mean, how could you not? But I think and I feel that in these moments when we face trials and tribulations, we need to hear things that are encouraging. We need to hear things that are uplifting, positive, and we just need it, because there's so much negativity that surrounds us, and there's so much this concept of, we get into our own minds, and oftentimes we are our worst enemy, because how many times do we not assume? How many times do we not jump the gun? How many times do we not think, oh, what if this happens, because this already is happening? We can't get into that mindset. You know, I'm very much of the mindset of, this is the now, this is what's going on at the current moment, so I'll roll with the punches and whatever punches moment is throwing at me.
Exactly. See, this is what's happening right now, and this is what we as Americans need to stand up, unite together, and face together. United as a nation. What is that statement? The United States of America.
Right.
Think of that word, united.
So
we need to be united.
Right.
Now more than ever.
Well, what does that entitle? Unity, united. What does that mean, Case?
That we stand together. We band together, and we try and get each other through this. It's like I said, folks, we are all in the same predicament. You know, and some people would, say, "Oh, well, it's easy for you to say because you're not going through what I'm going through, or you're not going through what so and so is." Would you rather somebody not say anything? Would you rather just sit and be depressed and upset?
Right.
How is that going to help anything?
Right. It's not. You're only defeating your own self by doing that.
Listen. I'm upset. Yes, I get discouraged every day, because every damn day you get up and you read all the goings on, and it's upsetting. But man, you just have got to pull through it. We've got to band together, and we will beat this. We will beat this.
You know what helps me a lot of times when the world is going through things like this is, I oftentimes have to remind myself, somebody is having a worse time than I am. You know, and I'm not saying you should relish in that, but you should think of those people who are going through worse situation than what probably you're going through. You know, we can't. Sometimes, yes, it's good to pamper ourselves. It's good to cater to ourselves, but also you got to keep in mind, going back to that word unity, we also have to, besides just looking out for each other, we have to be compassionate towards one another and try to understand our neighbor. Try to see where they are coming from, and not just make it about us. Because if we just make it about us, then no matter what you're doing, no matter if you are pursuing a career, no matter if just in anything, people, it takes two to dance. Okay? If you're in a relationship with somebody, it takes two to make it work. It doesn't work if it's lopsided. Your relationship with God, it doesn't work if it's lopsided. It doesn't work if you just leave it at, oh, I'm going to pray, but there's no action behind that prayer. And I mean, again, it's not a who's who. We're not. We shouldn't be about that. It shouldn't be about a who's who and survival of the fittest. We just, as a people, we like to complicate things. We like to overthink things, and again, like I mentioned before a couple of minutes ago, we get in our own heads. We We
which
read
is the
things.
Easiest.
We read things, Case, going back to what you were saying as well in regards to reading posts and reading the news every day. Look, does media hyping things up more than what they should? Yes. Are they doing what they're supposed to be doing? Absolutely. That's what the media is. The media is supposed to be this hype machine of sort. Now, with that being said, to you, the viewer, to you, the people watching on either Twitch or YouTube, you guys got to keep in mind, read and look out for context clues. Context is everything, folks. You have to read what's around that big statement in bold letters. Don't just read the heading of a news article and just sum it up and conjure up some crazy thing in your minds. No. You have to read what it is they're telling you. Unfortunately, all people read when it comes to this virus, all people read is the number of those who have contracted it, but they're not reading the ratio of those who have survived versus those whom have perished. I believe it's about 80 to 85% of those whom have contracted it and whom have survived this. But nobody's paying attention to that number. All people pay attention to is, oh, this number of people got it. Which by the way, is but a small fraction of the world's population. I'm just saying. I'm not saying we should undermine this. I'm not saying that we should overlook and not be careful and not be clean. If anything, the one positive I could gain out of what's going on here in the world today, at least people have remembered how to be clean, how to cleanse. Unfortunately, it took this to make people realize them concepts that we should be doing each and every day anyway.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You know, it's always good to take things like this very seriously, because obviously these kind of illnesses should always be taken very seriously, especially considering we don't know a whole lot about this particular virus in the first place. So that's why I said we need to exercise good judgment, common sense. We need to be clean. We need to be cautious, of course. But you can't just jump at the fact, oh, well, this person's infected. Oh, well, now this. You know what I mean? You can't let this get out of control because, you know, I said this yesterday when I was on the phone with my sister. I said, it's not the virus that scares me.
No.
It's the citizens.
Yeah.
And their reaction.
Yeah.
And the violence and the hoarding that scares me.
You know, you have people fighting over toilet paper. You have people fighting over hand sanitizers. You have people fighting over shopping carts. Shopping carts that, mind you, let's say, for example, Case, you have a shopping cart full of food, but somebody wants to jack you up for it. Like, bro, buy your own stuff. I mean, really? People, y'all gotta think. Come on, what happened to logic? What happened to reasoning? What happened to stepping back? And like I said, context clues. And not only when you read, but context clues with the things that you hear, with the things that you see. Physically, with your eyes, with your ears. But above everything else, you know, I think people have forgotten the ability to see and hear and comprehend with your minds. Okay? If your mind's vision and hearing is blurred, then where are you? You're in limbo. All right? You're in limbo. And as a cause of that, because you can't string together things that should be common sense, because you don't grasp onto what's logic and reasoning and just jump with what's initiated and what's said, because you're not looking at what's around you, you're going to react like crazy. And thus we have what we have today. where, yes, the virus, okay, be cautious of it. Do what you have to do to eradicate, barricade, to eliminate any possibility of you catching this, which, by the way, it's a 0.02%. Okay. But again, another number that is ignored, unfortunately, because like I mentioned, all people pay attention to is the number of those whom have caught this virus. But what I'm saying, folks, is really step back, be calm, and let the cool heads prevail. Because that's really what's going to get you through. All right. It's like when you play a video game. You know, you play a video game. What are you gonna do if you're stuck in a level and you get flustered and I understand, we're human. Okay, we're emotional creatures. I get that. I'm not saying not to have emotions. I'm not saying not to be scared. I'm not saying not to be concerned. Okay, but you know, to my video game analogy, what happens if you're trying to beat a particular level and you get frustrated? Then frustration, what's it do to you? It makes you not think clear. It makes you not think of, oh, what I need to do to get around here, around this part. And it's probably something so simple that you're missing out of your frustration.
You don't think rationally, you start to kind of just make decisions based off of,
right,
you know, how anxious and flustered you are, you know, and then pretty soon, you know, you're fucked.
Game over. You know, and that's what happens in life a lot of times. We go with what we see, and what we see is what it is. No, what we see isn't what it is most of the times. Okay? Because what we see, you got to look at the inner workings of everything, folks. You know, you don't just get a computer and assume that because it's a computer, it's going to work well for you. You don't just get a car and assume that just because it's a car, it's going to work like any other car. No. What do? You got to look at everything that's internal, right? Is the lights, the transmission? You know, does it steer as smoothly as I need it to? You know, does shifting from 1 through 5 is it what I need it to be? You got to test things out. You got to look into it, right? Not just outside, but in. Okay. But again, we forget to do this. You know, we forget to, we oftentimes, like I said before, we just run with what's given to us. You know, it's not football, people. It's not a pass, catch, and run. No. Life is a whole different animal. It's a whole different animal, and that all this, you know, after everything that we've been telling you guys on this podcast, I do have to state the question of which the title pertains to. And the question is, in all of this, where is God? Where is God? Okay, so I want to ask you that. Where is God? In these times of hardship, calamity, where is God?
Well, my brother, certainly not at the forefront of these issues like he should be. You know, because it just seems like, you know, it starts real casual. You know what I'm saying? Like, say you have a commitment. Okay. Let's use me as an example because I'm guilty of this.
Okay.
So, you know, I had this plan a couple years back. After I got out of eye surgery, I was gonna get back into the Word. You know, I was gonna get back into the Scriptures. You know, I was gonna, you know, and then I just put it off for a day. You know, I'm like, well, you know, I'll get around to it. And then I kind of made up another excuse here and another excuse there, and then pretty soon it was a month, and then 3. And see, this is what happens when you put God on the back burner. You know, and that's not going to be a popular thing for a lot of people to hear these days.
And why do you feel that is?
Well, you know, look at the world we're living in, man. You know, it's all about me and you.
It's hard to find that light, isn't it?
It is, man, because there's so much negative. You know, I think the one thing that a lot of us seem to forget when we face hardships, especially in times like these, at the very front of all this should be, where is our faith?
Where's our faith?
Where is our trust in our higher power? Some of us call it God. The Muslims call it Allah. You know what I'm saying? And, so on and so forth.
Right. But
we need
something to hold on to and something to believe in, and that
exactly
where is that thing that we hold on to that makes us think positively, that allows us to push on through? Is basically the question here, yes? So, exactly. and I think, going to the state of the world, I think that plenty of people, and even before this, even before all of this virus thing started going down, I feel that a lot of people have lost their ways in terms of holding on to something that they believe in, because it's a scary thing what's happening now. And what I'm talking about here is this whole movement, it seems like to me, right? And there's this movement of me and I, and believe in me, and I did it all. And that's very selfish. It's very selfish when you leave everything at, I am the creator of this, I am the reason why I'm here. I mean, you might as well just say screw everybody else and thank you to me. And unfortunately, a lot of people here on this earth have fallen into this whole concept of it's either me or nobody else. I believe in me. I don't believe in a deity. I don't believe in a higher being. I don't believe in anything, because the only thing I need to have faith in is myself. So to you, the music artist, the producer, the actor, the actress, you didn't have anybody else holding your hand through it? You just did it all on your own? Let's forget about spirituality. Let's just look at it. Let's just look at it from a people to people's perspective. You did it all on your own. Am I? Who's helping me right now on this podcast? Or is Casey just a voice that I've figment of my imagination? Am I imagining that I have somebody talking to me right now on this podcast? Is that it? This music? Just to minimize any sort of dead air, or because I do believe in having musical beds on the podcast. I don't like podcasts that practice this whole thing. Let's not have music in the background, because then there's moments where people talk and then it gets silent for a couple of seconds and you don't hear anything but. But that, I don't like that at all. But the music is here. It's helping me not have dead air. I'm just saying. Nothing happens just by itself. Nobody gets anywhere just by yourself. Nobody obtains success and reaches a pinnacle of anything just on your own. You need helping hands, people. This whole idea of oneself is dangerous, man. It's really dangerous. Because then you start thinking, listen, I don't care about anything or anyone.
Credit yourself to some degree, yes.
Yeah, obviously.
But dude, to sit there and say that you hung the moon and stars, that's asinine.
It really is.
Okay?
It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It's
give me a gold medal. Or hey, I want, I'll take one of them participation trophies too.
You might as well listen. You might as well have sporting events with no officials, no refs, right? Just let them, just let them play on their own.
No rules, no, no nothing. What the hell's the point of that? No point system.
It's like when you're kids, or teenagers, and you're like, "Yo, let's go play ball outside." There's no ref, no nothing. You just make up the rules as you go with your peers, right? And then what ends up happening? Yo, you took the ball away from me, man. That's not fair, dog. And y'all start fighting, and y'all start arguing, and there's no ref. There's nobody to pull you apart, right? So it takes somebody to add some sort of organization, some sort of structure to all this. So when it comes to a people-to-people's perspective, we always need somebody there to add some sort of structure to our lives. The same thing applies to God, to Allah, to Jesus, whatever you hold on to, and whatever you believe in. If I've always said, if it helps you in a positive way to do positive things for yourself and for other people, then go with it. Who are we to judge you? Okay? Who are we to judge you? Who am I to judge you if you're doing something positive? Now, if you happen to be a radical and you try to force your agendas down other people's throat, brother, that ain't gonna work. Sister, that ain't gonna work. I don't roll with that, okay? The key thing here is communication, listen, and respect. Communication, listen, and respect. Take those home, folks. Take those home. And going back to the question, though, sticking with where is God in all of this? Where is God in all of this? Case. Could you elaborate for the audience out there, if you can, on a particular horseman who brings pestilence? I want to talk about that. So, well, I'm gonna let him gather his thoughts here. I want to say
that's the first.
The first one is the white horse. The second one is the red one. What we're looking at is the third horse. White, red. Is it it's the black horse. It's the black horse.
Let me check to confirm.
I believe it's white, red, black, and pale. Or pale and black.
Hang on.
Yeah, please look it up for me. And for the audience here.
Yeah, I will. Hang on.
Well, while he's looking it up, folks, from time to time on this channel we do video game plays, so you want to stay tuned for that. And also, this is our first. This is, in terms of the ENTHooligins channel, this is the first actual stream we've done on Twitch. So, hey, to us, let's do a victory swing. Okay, so want to dance?
Yeah, sure.
Let's swing, baby. Let's swing.
Yeah.
Hey. Woo.
Hey, honey.
Woo. Do a little turn there, Case. Do a little turn, baby. There you go. Woo. Well, while he's looking at all that, I want to send a couple of shout-outs. Shout-outs to my mom. Shout-outs to my dad, who've always been supportive. Shout-outs to the whole ENT crew. What's going on, guys? I hope y'all listening. I hope y'all watching. Shout-out to everybody else who's supported us, man. Shout-out to my friend Cynthia. Shout out to you. I hope everything's been going well with you. Shout outs to Chris. Shout outs to Anthony. Yo, I love y'all, man. And if I'm forgetting anybody, yo, just know that you get a shout out too. Just insert your name right there within the space, in the blank. You know what I'm saying? Now, Case, did you get that information, baby?
I'm looking.
He's looking. All right, folks. Well, while he's still looking, folks, I want to remind you guys that this part of the show has been brought to you by... Actually, it's brought to you by nothing right now.
You know what? I think it is horse 4. And the reason is because with hunger, with death, and a certain percentage of the earth... Yeah, I think... See, I'm no scholar, folks. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, but you see, this is what makes this podcast cool, because... We
do it live.
Yeah, and we're not coming from a scholar's perspective. We are people just like you. Okay? So we're not going to overcomplicate things. We're not going to give you these crazy loop-de-loop terminologies, biblical terms that you don't understand. We're just going to discuss it as you would with your fellow woman or man.
That'd be right. You know what? You know, this music kind of reminds me of, I was just sitting here thinking.
What's up?
You remember those 1950s movies, you know?
Of course.
You got that scene.
At the restaurant or at the bar?
You know, where they're sitting in the restaurant, you know, or as they would say in Italian, a ristorante.
Ah.
Yeah. And you know, you got the classy lady, you know, and the gentleman there, you know, and they're sitting there drinking wine, you know, and eating food, and you know, like, you know, and it's a classy movie.
There we go.
In cinema history.
Case, you want to send a couple of shout outs?
Yes, sir. So I want to shout out my community, the You Know You're From Ogden If page. Y'all are crazy, but I love y'all. To everybody in the Artists We Are group. Yo, honey. To my special lady, Miss Emily Ann.
Gotta represent that.
Oh, you gonna be coming over to Daddy's house pretty soon, honey.
Oh boy.
Corona be damned!
Sunday.
We like Corona beer around here.
Oh snap. There we have it, folks. All right. Yeah.
The smoothie show.
So, we have this horse, and he's riding. Matter of fact, let me ask you a great question here. How many of the horses do you think are already riding? Because my answer is I think we got 3 out of the 4. The only one that we haven't seen yet is the first one, who is the guy riding the white horse, whose purpose is to conquer.
I don't want to say, because I don't know. You know.
No, the reason I say all 3 though, Case, and I didn't mean to interrupt there. I'm sorry, but the reason I say that is only because everything else that the other horses bring, we already have in this world. Think about that for a minute. You know, we have hunger, war, pestilence, death. Sometimes on very, very grand scales. The only thing we don't have is some guy standing up there at some pulpit saying everything is okay. I got your backs. Don't worry, stick by me. That's all we don't have. And we haven't heard anything about some sort of world peace and signing of some treaty. So that's why I say that. But I want you guys to keep in mind, I'm not saying this as something factual. This is just an opinion. And by the way, you guys are welcome to chat it up and comment down below as well, and let us know what you think. Let us know what you think on all of these subjects that we've been hitting on this evening. I mean, I welcome all opinions, and please keep it respectful, man. And if somebody says something that you don't agree with, at least take the time to learn from it and to see where that individual is coming from, because we don't need to agree to learn from one another, folks. And that's a true statement right there. That's not fact. That is true.
That's right. And
that's not just something that you pencil in as fact or opinion. Truth.
Exactly. And, you know, I want to touch on something else here real quick.
Go ahead.
You know, I got a buddy of mine on Facebook. Well, more than one. I'm sure there's loads. You know, I got friends of mine that, you know, they're upset. There's no music concerts. There's no sports. There's no wrestling.
Oh my God. CM Punk. I had to. I'm sorry.
But you know what, my friends?
I'm sorry.
There certainly is. There certainly is.
Bro, I'm sorry, Case. I had to do it, bro.
Because we have got Moses right here, brother.
Yes. Oh my God.
He's the musician. I do the wrestling.
That's right.
We got music.
That's
we
right.
Got wrestling.
We do. We do. His channel is down below, by the way, if I haven't told you guys that. Case, take the time to plug that since you just mentioned wrestling.
Okay. So, my channel is Casey Schofield WRW. And on that channel, there is a lot of different things. If you are interested, we got short stories. We got a little poetry. We got a little Jesus talk here and there. We got a lot of wrestling documentaries. And this isn't the kind of wrestling you're thinking. This is our own creation, audio wrestling at its finest, baby.
By the way, check out my interview with this man.
Absolutely, absolutely. If you want to post the link to that down below, please do.
Absolutely. Definitely will.
You know, and I was thinking also, what if we included some music from you and some matches from me in the I don't know if we're going to make a downloadable version of this, or what are we doing?
Well, but people could listen to this podcast later on when it's uploaded in the archives up in on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. Also, we are on Twitch, of course, so you could always catch the video on demand on our Twitch channel, and on YouTube, of course, right here, which is our main platform. And the only reason I say ours, because Case is going to be working with me on a regular from here on out as well. So welcome to the ENT crew, buddy. So it's gonna be cool, guys. It's gonna be cool. A nice, fun ride where we're gonna bring you a little bit of everything. A lot of the focal point being God and Jesus and all that good stuff. But it's gonna be done with very respectful mindset, and it's also going to be we're gonna be examining many different parts of things that are biblical. What's going on in society today? You know, this is what you guys are used to when me and the rest of the crew, when we do Endless Possibilities, which is what we call that show. So this is basically an extension of that, ladies and gentlemen.
Definitely. You know, and I figured this, man, we got to do something while we're quarantined, right?
Well, yeah, that's true.
So let's do this. Let's sit here, chop it up.
That's
do
right.
the damn thing. Chat, chill, drink coffee.
There you go. There you go. You gotta love his enthusiasm, folks. You got to. How could you not? You know,
it's excitement.
It is. How could you not be, though? You know, we're here bringing people smiles and being positive. You know, and it's not that once in a while we won't come on here and rant about a few things and kind of lay the smack down on somebody, but it's not really gonna be about that, though, folks. It's gonna be about fun. It's gonna be about entertainment and educating at the same time, because that's what we do here.
Bro, do you have a live link right now that we could drop on our Facebooks and to kind of get more people tuned in?
Yes, I will send right now, actually.
Like to drop it in the chat window. The chat window. Man, I'm digging this music, bro.
It's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. I will send you. I will send it to you because I have a crap load of windows open as is. So if you could help me with that case, I would greatly appreciate it.
What do you need me to do, brother?
Paste the link, brother. Paste it on your Facebook.
Man.
Share it up. Here
I will,
is.
honey. I will.
Here is the direct URL to the YouTube live link, which is the main platform. And the Twitch stream is listed down below in the description. So just send YouTube, which takes care of everything else. All the links that they need in terms of social media, Twitter, Facebook, all of that is there. So, which by the way, guys, we also have, listen, we also have a Facebook and a Twitter for ENTHooligins. So look us up. That's ENTHooligins, putting our own spin on the word hooligans. That again is ENTHooligins. ENTHooligans. And by the way, I'm digging this music too, man. I really am.
I'm telling you, brother. It's like one of them old time 50s type shit.
I love swing, man. It's great.
By the way, Jeopardy theme.
Jeopardy. You know, I've always sucked at Jeopardy. Just putting it out there.
Oh God! Don't get me started, dude. Anytime I play that thing on Alexa, I just die. A humiliating, slow. Fuck that! Don't even do.
I can't because I'm like, what is Raisinets? Nah. I mean, nah. Let me see if there's anything going on in the chat room. I gotta pay attention to my people chatting, you know? Yo, where's my chat room? Oh, here it is. Yo, John, what's up, baby? Sorry, I just saw your text, man. I just tuned into the chat room, man. I'm just reading right now. That's my bad. I'm sorry. He just said that getting flustered in terms of video games is something that he does oftentimes. Going back to that situation that we pinpointed earlier.
Don't remind me of that shit.
Yep. He says, to quote it word for word, getting flustered at a video game sounds like something I'm guilty of.
No comment.
Oh man, but you know, I'm having a great time. I really am.
Yeah, man.
Oh, but you've been
Where's that link,
podcasting
brother?
for a while. I sent it to you, bro.
No, you didn't.
Are you
Wait,
sure?
did you send it to me on? Did you send it to me on Skype on my phone? Where did you send it?
Oh, your phone.
Oh, you did. Oh, well, I gotta power my phone on. Well, give me a second. Hold on. I got to get acquainted here, baby.
Yeah, I figured it'd kind of be easier maybe if I did it through the phone because you just have to open the app and right there. There you go.
All right, hold on, baby. Hold on, baby. Come on.
Let me go back to the chat room. That way nobody yells at me.
Yell at him. Everybody, yell at him.
No, please don't. Oh man, and it's fun though. I love doing this. I really do. let me see if I see what we got here. Whoops. Typo.
Hold on.
There we go. Say something in your chat room. I hope you guys are enjoying this music as much as we are, though. I figured, what would be the perfect beds to play during a podcast on a Sunday Eve? And I say, you know what? Swing sounds like a lot of fun. So in terms of where I feel, going back on track here, in terms of where I feel God is in all of this. Now, Case, he gave his opinion. Now, my opinion is, I think that one thing we should keep in mind is this. Although the light is very hard to find in these darkened times, we gotta remember that within the darkness must come out the light. You know, Bob Marley said it in Could You Be Loved? Amongst the darkness, there must come out the light. So no matter how dark it is, no matter how much of a rut, how detrimental things can get, that light is always there. It's just so hard to find. I understand, with all the negativity, with all the violence, with all the irrational thinking, with the lack of common sense, with the lack of reasoning and logic, it is hard to find that light. I get it. But if it's of any strength, if it's of any encouragement to y'all, I mean, notice and realize that that light at the end of it all, at the end of the war, at the end of the battle, that light is always there, man. Is always there to welcome you, to guide you. And if you are a person of a great amount of faith, it's also always there to remind you that it's there. All right? It is. So I think God is there, but I also do think that God is getting angry. I think he's tired of our behavior. I think he's about to commence a certain calendar. And I think that soon other things are going to start happening, and we have to be alert. We have to be ready. Okay? Now, I'm not saying this as a doomsday doomsday type of scenario, because again, at the end of the day, when it's all over, light always wins, even though when it doesn't seem like it will. Okay, but I'm not prognosticating disaster, doom, gloom, but I am saying to keep alert. I am saying to be ready. And it's as simple as holding on to your faith. We're the ones that make that concept complicated, by the way. It's so difficult. Is it really, or is it just the fact that we have a lack of willpower? Is it just a matter that we have no self-control many times? Is it that? What is it? What is it? All right? What is it? Now, I also believe that slowly but surely God is taking his hand away from us. And not because he wants to, but because we asked for it. So slowly but surely God is saying, you know what? I'm gonna take my thumb off of this little by little. And I want to show you guys, even as much as it hurts me, as much as it pains me, I want to show you the error of Yahweh's. And it's what he does. He doesn't do it because he's mean-spirited. He doesn't do it because he likes to watch you suffer, because he wants you to suffer, because he wants you to constantly face these battles, trials, and tribulations. He doesn't do it because he finds pleasure in that.
Man, brother.
And he doesn't do it because he finds joy in punishment. No, you know who punishes who? God doesn't punish anybody. We punish our own selves. We are victims of ourself. Which was why I go back to what I was talking about earlier. This whole concept of oneself and me and I, it's dangerous. And it's not how we should operate. It's not what we should be, and it's not what this world should be about. That person whom you believe in, named Jesus, or whatever other spiritual figure you believe in, he didn't.
Well,
and they don't. You hear the stories of Jesus, and you hear stories of, for those who practice other religions, Muhammad, who was viewed as a prophet. They didn't come here for themselves, and focusing on Jesus, he didn't come here for himself. He came here for the sinner, for you, for me, for all of y'all, for all of us. Okay? Not for his benefit. Not for his benefit, but for ours. And what do we do with that? I'm gonna ask everyone watching, I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Now, how many times a week? Let me scratch that. How many times a day do you even remember to say thank you to God for allowing you to see another day? Because to me, listen folks, no matter what situation you facing, if you're granted another day, yes, it's another day of me facing this situation that I don't want to go through, but it's also another day for me to at least try and obtain that victory. But we don't think about it that way. All we think about is how hard and difficult things are. We don't think about another day given to us as a blessing. We don't think about the concept of another day being granted to us, being another opportunity for us to be able to succeed, for us to be able to beat that battle that constantly pokes at us. Because for whatever reason, it's like you guys, it's like we are wired to just lean towards negativity all the time, and to think woes and uh-ohs and what ifs and woe is me. Woe is me. There goes that word again, me. This whole individuality concept. Now, I don't want you guys to think that I'm SJW in the place, because that's not even what I don't listen. SJWs, that's another topic for another day. But it's not like that either. I ain't no radical. We ain't radicals here. We're just giving you guys truth. We're just trying to talk sense, and we're trying to encourage all of you guys out there who need it. All right. What I'm saying here is, folks, be for each other. Be for one another. If y'all say y'all believe in Jesus, if y'all say y'all want to be Jesus-like, listen. Follow the example that he set for you. And that doesn't mean judging. That doesn't mean you do it by casting people to hell. That doesn't mean you play executioner. No. It simply means being there for others. Remembering from time to time, Lord, thank you. Thank you because you've allowed me to see the sun. Because you've allowed me to talk to my loved ones. Because you've allowed me to marvel at your creations. And more importantly, people, And this is a big one. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Because you allow me to not be alone. How many of you have ever felt lonely? I'm sure many. How many of you have ever felt like y'all don't got anybody? I'm sure plenty. How many of y'all feel like there's no one you could turn to? How many times have we felt that way? I'm sure plenty. Go ahead, Case.
And I will, I'm going to give you guys some prime examples here. I'm going to tell you guys a story here. In case anybody out there that I know is listening to this, some people know me as the guy who goes out to kamikazes and parties. Some know me as, the guy that wrote Jaws for Windows as a murderer, Some people know me as, their old pal Casey, and all that. But I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story about the man that I know. The man who had to battle for just about everything he had, and has, for that matter, in life. I'll speak from personal experience here. I'd say one of my favorite, if not my favorite book in the Bible has got to be the story of Job. Because it talks about a man who had it all and had it taken away from him piece by piece by piece by piece, but always held on to one thing. What were we talking about earlier? Faith, integrity. And because he stayed strong, he maintained his integrity. In the end, it was given all back to him 100-fold. You know what I mean? And that story always inspired me. You see,
it also coincides with the light after the darkness.
Exactly, man. It's it's like that old saying goes, man. You have to go to hell to get to heaven.
That's powerful.
And I'm gonna tell you a story, man. I grew up LDS. For those of you that don't know, that is the Mormon Church. And no, this is not a Mormon bashing. This is an honest story. I grew up sometimes, in a not so happy household. And things were a little rough in school because I was picked on, and as a result of that, I grew angry and bitter. And right in the middle of my teenage years, the day after my 17th birthday, my brother died. Now you throw all that on the shoulders of a 17-year-old boy who is still just trying to figure things out and who is angry at the world and everybody in it. Dude. And then I graduate high school. Then comes the real world.
How'd you deal with that?
Oh, I'll tell you how I dealt with that. 10 years ago, I moved out to central Utah. And, at first we had nobody. We had nothing. And while I was out there, I thought, in my own foolishness, that life was so hard that I was going to give up. I tried to commit suicide twice when I was out there. Not knowing how hard life was going to get.
Right.
Not knowing the immense trials that were ahead. Not knowing how easy I had it at the time. I mean, yeah, it was hard for me at the time, but that was because I didn't know what hard was. a year later, a year and a half later, I gave my life to Christ. And if you're expecting me to tell you this story of, a hero, a changed man, somebody who lived life perfectly, somebody who lived life, and didn't make any mistakes, and who was without sin and without blemish, sir, you are living in a fantasy. You are living in a fantasy. I'm going to tell you exactly what kind of life I led. I was an alcoholic. I was a borderline alcoholic. I was snorting pills. I was all fucked up. But it's because I felt that, growing up kind of in a conservative culture, I wanted to party, Hey, let's party, let's da-da-da-da. But, along the way, you have these little stops in life where you learn things. And there's no shame in going through hard times and admitting hard times and being emotional during those times. Or, for that matter, getting emotional talking about these times.
Of course.
Because it is parts of life. I had an ex-girlfriend. God bless her. Now, I wouldn't have said that back then, but she told me 5 years ago, I can't be with you, Casey, because as a man, you need to provide for me, and you can't do that. Now, she didn't outright tell me that, but that's what was implied. So she found someone who would provide, and she's happily married. She has kids. God bless her. And that was the day that I started to make a decision that I'm going to get my shit. Kinda. Okay? I'm being real and straightforward. I am not telling the story of somebody who is blameless and upright, blemish free, and no. But I started because I started writing an audio to go all over the world called Jaws for Witness as a Murderer. But right in the middle of all this, here comes another tragedy. Bam! April of 2016.
Oh, man.
I got pink eye. That's what. Within 48 hours, my eye was red and purple. And over the next 8 months, I got sicker and sicker until it was to the point where just getting out of bed to use the bathroom, I was exhausted. I was wiped out. Went in for some tests. Went into the Moran Eye Center for some tests. And I found out that I had to lose my eye to live or die because my heart was pumping blood to an organ that was no longer alive. The surgery, the rehab, the pain, the hell. Oh my God. And through that, yeah, I had a lot of friends cheering me on Facebook and social media and all that, of course. But what I wanted was something I didn't have. That one person to be there to comfort. As we all want.
Of course.
A lot of us feel alone, and we feel like, why can't I have that?
Right.
That somebody.
Right.
Well, I want you to think of something before I continue with this here. What if we're meant to be alone until we are strong enough to have someone else?
Yeah, because some people don't know how to handle also company. So you got to kind of learn how to adapt.
Exactly.
How to, be receptive of people.
You have to learn to first stand on your own before you can hold up anybody else.
Yeah.
Loneliness is very real, and nobody understands loneliness more than me. I understand that. I know that. Believe me, I do. There were nights where I was in terrible pain, and I would lay there and cry because I hurt so bad. And I would cry out to God, please, Lord, take this away. Please, Lord, take this away, because it was so terrible. And then, in January 2018, and this is why I say to you that my life is like Job's, in a way. I started going down the road of trying to find employment. I had recovered for the most part from my eye surgery, and I was ready to, hey, let's do this, And I met my then, who was to become my girlfriend at the time, Jamie. We met on Tinder that day, had our first date that night. And I thought, hey man, great. Things are going great. Things are going well, And I wake up one morning, and all of a sudden, I discover this marble-sized hard mass on my left testicle. Keep in mind, this is right in the middle. This is right in the middle of my other ordeal. Folks, 16 months after my eye was removed, I had to go under the knife again. And my surgeon told me, you need to prepare for the worst. You need to prepare for chemo. You need to prepare for radiation. Folks, you got to understand, at this point, my high school reunion was coming up in a month and a half. And you're telling me that I had to... No. You cannot imagine the emotion that I was going through that time. So, and of course, this also meant that, well, my employment search is off the table too. So you took my eye away from me. You taken away my, my lefty. And you're also going to give me cancer too. Oh, that's great. That's great. I thought. Oh, that's just grand. May 9th, 2018, my results came back. I was the third man in 30 years of that surgeon's practice who went through that and did not have cancer.
Just the third. So examine those odds, folks.
Think about that for a minute. My dad called me on the phone that day and he said, Casey, I want you to think about something. He said, whatever it is you want to do in life, you do. If you want to be a writer, do it. Whatever it is you want to do, you do it. Because you're being given a second chance to do it. I attended my high school reunion. I gave my girl my ring. No. The relationship didn't last. But that's not the point. The point is, I got that one more day. If people think that God only takes away and doesn't give, my friends, you are mistaken. You are so mistaken. In the past 2 years, I've networked and socialized on a couple of local Ogden groups here in my city, and I've gotten to know so many people. People, they see me in public, and they just, they want to shake my hand and meet me, and I've met so many musician friends, and I finally found my special someone after waiting over 2 years for that. I've started a podcast. I'm this close to having a brand new job. My friends, I tell you that to tell you this. I'm not telling you that to talk myself up. I'm not telling you these stories to tell you how awesome I am. I ain't shit, bro. Okay. You are talking to a guy that likes to have fun, let's say. You know, I don't do the hard stuff anymore. Haven't for years and years. But you know, if you're looking for a hero, if you're looking for an idol, that's not me. But if I can tell you one thing from all my experiences in life, God provides. If you trust, God will always provide. It looks bad right now, my friends. But let me be the first to tell you, no matter how bad it gets, there is always a way through. God never promised us that He would take us out. But He did promise us He would take us through.
Amen to that.
He said Himself.
Big amen to that.
I will never leave you. He said Himself, I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. And He never will, my friends. You know, just a week ago, I was having problems with my other eye, with my only good eye. And I was terrified. Because if you think that I wanted to go through that surgery again, my friend, no. And I went in to the Moran. You know, people, you know, they sent me their prayers, you know, their positive vibes, you know, whatever it is you do. I've never been so damn happy to have pink eye in my life.
I saw that post too. I saw that post.
Oh man.
Let it be a lesson for those of you who have pink eye.
Yeah, really. Be grateful. Here's to the pink eye.
and other things that are pink. And other things that are pink. Oh!
You know, man, and, dude, I have a wonderful lady. She's sticking by me. I do worry about her because she works at Walmart.
She must be having a fun time. If you're a doctor, if you're working at Walmart, or if you're a nurse, oh boy, I could just I could feel your smiles. I could feel your smiles. I could feel your smile from a mile away. All you got to do is give a little smile. Oh, okay.
Smile, baby.
That's right. But you know, I look at it this way: to you doctors, to you guys who work at Walmart, though, or any other convenience store or retail, at least you're doing something for your community and for these people whom are scared. Should they act ballistic? Should they go ballistic? No, absolutely not. I'm not condoning that now. Come on. We've been talking about being rash, right? But think of it that way. At least you're doing something for your community. And at least you guys are holding it down. You know what I'm saying? Because without you guys, I mean, what is there? Who's going to maintain order? Right? Who's going to be distributing? Oh, man. So, yeah, be thankful for everyone, because the best team is one that's well-oiled, folks. And a well-oiled machine works together. Everything needs to work in conjunction. Alright? It's not a community if it's not about the people. And that's how it is. You know, and to case the story, folks, and all of that, Case's story, what he just took you guys through, it's a plethora of different scenarios, emotions. I'm sure there were moments where he felt that, again, loneliness, and maybe at times he felt that he didn't have enough faith or faith at all, right? But here's the thing, y'all. If you do have faith, and if you do believe in that faith, best believe that it's not easy. It's not easy at all. A matter of fact, committing yourself to God, it's not a matter of, okay, I committed myself to God and poof, everything automatically just gets easier for you. No, if anything, things get harder for you. But I'm not trying to say that to discourage y'all and to tell you not to do it because things get harder. You know what it is, y'all? You know what it is? When you fully commit and when you accept, when you're accepting of what life throws at you, and you have that, here comes that word again, when you have faith, and you truly, I'm not saying just by word of mouth, but you truly, with your heart, with your soul, with your being, when you believe in that faith, it's not that things get easier, like I said before, but you're more accepting of things. You're more
I'm
relaxed.
Gonna tell you guys something. I'm going to tell you guys something. People have this idea that if I become, quote, religious, or, if I believe in God, or if I have faith in this or that, that life is going to get easier. Well, it's actually the opposite. People, I think what people want is an easy life. They want to coast. And I'm not faulting anybody for that, but I'm going to tell you guys something right now. And this is coming from a man who I have probably earned a few of the scars I have. I've probably deserved a few of the scars I've gotten. I've probably deserved some of the karma that I've gotten over the years. Okay, well, that's fine. But I'm going to tell you guys something. And I want this to be something that you think about. If life were easy, it wouldn't be worth living. If everything just came to you at the snap of a finger, what would there be a point? No, there wouldn't, because it'd just be right there and it'd be easy to obtain. There'd be no challenge, there'd be no risk, and there'd be no reward. We'd get bored. I'm not saying that I wish a hard life on anybody. I certainly don't. God, I mean, look at my life. It hasn't always been the hardest, but it hasn't always been the easiest. You got peaks and valleys in life. I feel very fortunate that I even made it to my 30th birthday. Okay? But my friends, you would be absolutely amazed what just a little faith will do for you. It says in the good book, faith the size of a mustard seed can move mountains. Can you imagine what it would be, what a different world it would be if everybody just had that little teeny bit of faith? And stopped being so damn offended and worried and paranoid and angry and hateful, and we just had that little teeny bit of faith. Brother, my friend, can you imagine? Can you imagine how different this world would be?
It would.
It'd be beautiful, man.
It would. Because in this society, we have both extremes. Either people are too sensitive or people are too insensitive. Where's the middle ground?
Well, there isn't really much of that, just like there ain't, much common sense anymore.
But honestly,
I think they should just call it sense.
Yeah, because it ain't common, really. If it were common, then everybody would have it, or most people would have it. But I do want you to think about, guys, if you're not watching on Twitch and YouTube, if you're gonna listen later on Spotify and such, I want you guys to really listen and think about what he's saying here in the question that he just posed. You know, what if life were easy? What if life didn't throw the challenges that it does throw at you? You know, then where is the sense of being rewarded? Where is the sense of, I already went through this fire, I went through this battle, now I'm at such peace? Where's the sense of that satisfaction of knowing that you went through hell to get here? You know, what would happen to stories? What would happen to things that are inspirational? Would we have anything to be inspired by if we didn't have stories of people who persevere, who triumph?
No,
I don't think so.
Well, like I'll give you a perfect example. Lord of the Rings. You know, Frodo was the smallest character in that book, yet he had the most burdensome task. What would have happened if they just, here's the ring, stay in Hobbiton, it'll be okay, you don't have to do anything.
Exactly.
What would be the point of the story?
It doesn't work that way.
Where's the adventure? Where's the excitement? Where's the fear? Guys, it all comes in a big bundle.
Right.
There's parts of life, like right now, we have uncertainty. We have fear. People are scared. But you know what, my friends? I'm not saying times aren't going to be hard. I'm not saying that times aren't going to be scary, because they are. But have a little faith and enjoy the adventure.
Exactly.
Even just giving a little bit to someone else that needs it. I saw a post this morning of a young mother asking someone, can I buy a loaf of bread? That should not be this way!
Oh, that's tough. That's tough.
That should not be this way.
Something I do believe in is a little goes a long way. I believe in that a lot. And you never know if you're doing... It's crazy, because you never know if you're doing something that'll impact somebody's life. Who's to say that a song may not come on at any random time and you needed to hear that? Who's to say that this podcast is something that maybe somebody out there needed to hear? Who's to say that, just you holding the door for somebody was all they needed to brighten up the day? What's up?
You know what my grandfather told me when I was 15 years old? When I was a punk-ass prick teenager with no consideration, no nothing, no give a damn for anybody. You know what my grandpa said to me? I'll quote him word for word, because I was fortunate enough to have my tape recorder going at the time. He said to me, you've got to learn some manners, buddy. You'll never make it through life if you don't get some manners and a little consideration. He said to me, boy, you've got to grow up a little bit.
That's powerful.
For hell's sakes.
That's powerful, man.
Damn right.
It ain't just words.
Damn right.
It ain't just words. It's powerful. It's powerful, and it's truth. Going back to that, truth. Earlier I said something along the lines of, it's not a fact, it's truth. Look, even when something is fact, it's still subject to some sort of an opinion and some probing to be done. But when you validate something as truth, rather it your truth, his truth, her truth, their truth, truth is truth, and that's all there's to it. Even liars believe in their own lies to be truth, and you can't get them out of it, right?
I got a friend who's a perfect example of that.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't love him. I'm not saying he's not a friend, but he's a damn liar.
Let me check the time here, cause to be honest, and to tell you the truth, there goes that drop again. I'm getting hungry.
Well, I just ate a shitload of lasagna, so I'm good. But I'll have some more coffee.
Oh yeah, rub it in. I gotta get the hell up out of here. Is what I'm saying. Listen, folks. We measure how long the podcast goes in accordance to my stomach. No, no, I haven't eaten. Honestly, I haven't eaten anything since 11, man.
Are you cooking with propane?
Oh man. But honestly, folks, I want to encourage you guys to please subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Subscribe to Casey's channel if you haven't as well. It's down below there, the description box. Also, I want you guys to follow us on social media, Twitter and Facebook. The ENTHooligins pages are listed right there. Also, you could follow me on SoundCloud if you want to hear some of my music as well. Soon to be on Spotify and on Apple as well, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned for that. I'm working on a very big project. You don't want to miss that. I'll keep you guys posted. And I'm glad to get this channel jump started again. So I was just working on things behind the scene, because one of the things I've always wanted to do was to multi-stream to different platforms at one time. And it's possible now, and I've been learning this and how to do this, and here we are now on YouTube and on Twitch simultaneously. There's more great things to come, folks. At some point, I do plan to do Facebook Live, as well as I never go live from an individual standpoint. You'll never see just me go live. But in terms of putting the podcast live on the ENTHooligins page, that is soon to come. Please be patient with us, and I'm telling you guys, big things are coming, okay? Stay blessed, and what you're going to indulge in tonight, be safe, be cool, man. Try to keep a cool head, man, and always remember,
exactly,
you're not alone, okay? You're only alone. Listen, I could agree or y'all could disagree, but here we go, opinion, right? I believe that you're only alone if you cause yourself to be alone. If you get in your, because the only one who gets in your way is you. You know, the only one that could turn you into a monster is you. It's all up to you in terms of how you conduct yourself. You know. That's a scenario that, yes, is all up to you. That's one instant in life. That's all up to you. But let people help you. And let people guide you. Let people encourage you. Don't
be ashamed to admit you need help, man.
Yeah. Go for it, man. Go for it, because it's part of life.
I wouldn't have made it half as far if I didn't ask for help. Believe me.
You know, Jesus himself. Check this out, y'all. Check this out. As powerful as Jesus is, and as almighty as he is, yeah, sure, he could have spread the word all on his own. But even he understands, for my word to be spread, I need disciples. He had 12, lost one, gained another one in Paul. And guess what, folks? Y'all disciples too. I'm a disciple. He's a disciple. Keep that in mind, man. A little goes a long way. A little goes a long way.
My friends, if I can leave you with one more thing tonight, it is be of good courage, be strong, be brave, because the others, the younger generations, your children, are counting on you. We can be better than this. Be blessed, my friends. Be of good courage. Stay strong. Keep that little bit of faith, because it will carry you miles.
And with that, folks, we leave you with that word. Casey, thank you so much, bro. It was a pleasure having you here. And I plan to do more shows with you, man. I love you, man. I really do. And I love you guys, too, listening to us. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for being here. And thank you for sticking with us. I am known as Baby Moy artistically. I am your host, and he is your host. Big Case in the house. With that, folks, be blessed, be safe, and see ya! Who wanna swing?
Ow.
Folks, I want to remind you guys, next podcast I'm on with this man, we will be discussing, is the afterlife all about clouds and harps? You don't want to miss this one. Keep it locked.